Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'll do that again. Okay. Questsoul Theatre's 3 main goals is creativity, curiosity, and community.
Okay, so let's try, instead of goals, pillars,
Pillars.
as in
The
foundational sort of values.
Or value, okay.
I like values, but what do you
Yeah,
think?
yeah,
Pillars?
values, yeah. Pillars sound a bit more too formal.
Yeah.
Okay. So at Questsoul Theatre, our 3 main values are creativity, curiosity, and community.
Expression good there on
Yeah.
that final pause, yeah. That is pretty much everything. I don't want
Okay.
to overwhelm.
No, and so he's sort of saying it's a lie. He's saying you're lying to me. You're not really, the dog isn't, So what's great about this play is it's written from the point of view of somebody who has got a neurodiversity, and we're seeing what it's like in their world. Yeah, and it gives the audience a chance to do that. So and hung it by the side of the fridge so it would be ready for school the next day, and gave 3 pellets of rat food to Toby, who is my pet rat. I made myself a raspberry milkshake and heated it up in the microwave. Then I went up to my bedroom and turned on my bedroom light and played 6 games of Tetris and got to level 38, which is my 4th best ever score. An hour later, Father came home from work. Is it mundane? Is it out of the ordinary?
I think he's got his routine and his
Yeah,
pattern,
routine, yeah.
and he's describing
He's describing
the
that,
way it's sort
but
of ritual as well. like
it's a
he's got this
ritual, but
Yeah.
also when we talk, oh God, I don't know.
Yes.
But for Christopher, he's like, my mother died 2 years ago. I came home from school, and he's literally
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it's the matter, but also the impact. He's remembered every single little thing, and he's remembered, So
photographic memory.
yeah. So in a way, it's like very factual, but it's also very sad. Like it's also like that impact.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, in terms of the thing, home from school one day, and no one answered the door. So I went and found the secret key that we kept under a flower pot outside the kitchen window. I let myself into the house and wiped my feet on the mat. I put the key in the bowl on the table and took my coat off and hung it by the side of the fridge. So what things, you've got quite a lot of things there.
Yeah,
What
there's
things
a lot
can
of
you
objects,
add?
isn't
Yeah,
there?
name some of the objects, James.
There's the
Rat.
Toby the rat, pellets.
Yeah, the pellets, yeah. There's lots of things
Yeah,
in here
there's a lot.
that you could choose that we're going to have a look at. So me and Connor, if you don't mind standing up, right? So one way that you could do it is if you can be the door. So you can literally going to have your grouping. Siobhan is going to be reading, and one of you in your group will be Christopher.
Right.
So it's like, I came home from work and there was nobody on the door. So I lifted the pot, got the key, yeah? So you can actually become the things in the house, right?
Yeah.
And then Connor becomes the coat rack, and I took my coat off and I hung my coat up, and yeah? So you could do like that, or
Yeah.
you could also do it if you stand back a little bit. You could do it where somebody's miming, and then I touch Connor on the shoulder, and then he takes over as Christopher, so he does the next bit, you know? So there's some different things you could do as a... Teamwork. Alright? So each group, I'm going to give out I've got a big version here, okay?
Oh, wow.
So you can, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, okay. I'm gonna, the door,
lines
the
that you're
thing,
happy
the
to
rat,
read.
the
You can go
milkshake.
from a full
You know what I mean? So
stop
each
to a
person is
stop. I let
so he
myself
comes
into
along
that
and does
box
a
and
different
wipe my
thing
Right.
at each stage.
I don't
I
mind
went
being
up to my bedroom and turned on my
So you want to be Toby the rat,
No,
okay?
I was going to say, yeah, hang on a minute, so it's 3 of
Meanwhile,
us plus.
how shall we stay?
You can have Susie.
Four.
All of us will be here, so let's
You could be
immediately
the door. You
start.
could be another thing. You could be a door. You open and you come round and you're the bowl.
You'll be the
You see
door.
what I mean? So you could be a door, and then you
So
kind
if
of
you have
open,
door
you
and
come back round, and then you're the bowl. Yeah.
Will be Christopher. Lift it up.
Let's
So
move.
alright, if there's a by your knee, if you just
Let's move
lean,
Steve over
then he
here,
gets
so
the
that
key.
he's at the front.
And then use it on the
Chris,
door.
you're going to be the door and the
So
bowl.
let's do that.
What's
So
the
flower
next?
pot
It's
door.
the
How about
bowl,
you stand here to
the
begin
flower
with?
pot. He'd like to speak. Put the key
Mother
in the
died
bowl.
2
Took
years
his
ago.
coat off.
I came home from school
And
one
gave
day
3
and no one
pellets of
answered the door.
rat
So
food.
that'll be I came home
So,
from school one day,
So,
stand in front of Maisie. Yes, it's me.
so you're Toby.
Oh, you're a flower. Sorry, I got a question.
Yes, but I thought
flower
my
in a flower
feet
pot.
would be because is it the key under my feet?
No, the key is under a flower pot.
Yeah.
And then once he gets the key,
Yeah.
he'll
And
open
then
the
my
door.
Open the door.
And then it pushes me.
And then-
Excellent, lovely.
Okay.
So stand there.
Yeah.
Sue.
School
Hung it
one day and no
On
one
the
answered
by the
the door.
side of the fridge.
Yeah.
So I went and found
Well,
the
you could
secret
still be
key
a coat
Yeah,
book,
yeah.
it's fine.
flower
Then I'm
pot
feeding
outside the
Ratty.
kitchen
Yeah.
window.
You are Ratty.
I let myself
Now
into
I've got to
the
make
house.
myself a milkshake
Okay.
and heat it
Let's
up in
open
the
up that door.
microwave.
Right, okay, so.
And wipe my feet on the mat.
You can turn around. So,
Now, would
I
you
don't-
like to put the key
and
in
you
the
go
bowl on the table? I took
ding,
my
and the
coat
door's
off and hung
open,
it,
ding,
by the
and then you
side
take
of
your
the
mic and make
fridge.
take
So
your
that's
milkshake.
cool.
It's a very big, it's an industrial milkshake.
You want to become Christopher
So we're going to
now,
open the
and then you
microwave,
will
and
be
then
the
it's going to
fridge
go
with the hanging
up.
thing.
So I think you should come around.
So that's
and,
easy. So you go from the
Then he's going
door
to play a computer game. I think you guys should, you know, because he's
stand
playing
up into where
Tetris.
James is, and you walk forward and up.
Oh, sorry.
So now you're where James is.
Chris's nose, finger. And then he comes in. Maybe what you do is you turn the light on and you come here. Then these guys can kind of go like that. Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. Right. So you don't need that. Okay. He's going to read it.
Okay,
Let's try from
Let
the beginning.
myself
Let's try from the
wipe my
beginning.
feet on the mat.
Right, you go. I'll let you guys go.
Transition.
Mother died 2
I
years
put
ago.
the key in the bowl.
I came home from school one
I
day
took
and
my
no
coat
one
off
answered the
and hung
door.
it by the side
So I
of the
went and
fridge so it
found
would
the
be ready for
secret key
school the
with the
next
key
day.
under a flower pot outside the kitchen window.
I gave 3 pellets
I let
of rat
myself into
food
the
to
house
Toby, who is my
and
pet
wiped my
rat.
feet on the mat.
Yeah.
You want to be the rat?
I put the key in the bowl,
Absolutely.
I took the
And then
table.
do you...
Connor, I'm just
I
going to
took
show
off my
around
coat.
the
Brilliant.
I hung it
Lovely.
Oh, you have to go faster.
Picks up 3 rat pellets and then
I
feeds it
can't
to the rat.
concentrate too long.
How are you going to transition into the rat? Do you want to make him or crush something up? So I made myself a raspberry milkshake.
Put it in there.
Oh.
Lovely, yes, a nice bowl, brilliant.
Yes, it's like a bowl, yeah.
Then,
Yeah.
I've got to wait for
And
it to
then,
finish.
lovely.
Then,
I
I
heated
went
it
up to
in
my
the
bedroom
microwave.
and
You
turned on
take
my
James,
bedroom light.
Move him over in front of HP.
Oh yeah, hang on a minute, I've got to go upstairs.
Press some buttons.
And I played
And
6
then
games of
you-
Tetris.
Yeah.
11:38, which is my fourth
Just give us
game.
one solid rotation. And then you give us a beautiful, well done.
Then you take it out.
An hour
Then
later,
I went up.
father came home from work.
Yes.
Down.
We're less focused on that. It's just I made myself a raspberry milkshake, and let's make sure we do it side on so you're not blocking the lovely raspberry milkshake. So James face Maisie. I made myself a raspberry milkshake. Yeah, pop stuff in, shake it around, and heated it up in the microwave.
Yes, I've done that already.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
So then
How have I got it out?
heat up in the microwave. You should do one rotation.
Yeah, we've got, yeah.
And then James turn around and face Maisie again.
Yeah.
Just grab his hands.
Yeah.
And then he will fade away and you'll pretend to have the milkshake.
Oh,
He
right.
means it's bedroom, so just pretend
Put
to
the
take
key
it
in the
up
bowl
to
on the table.
Lovely.
I
Do
took
you
my
guys
coat
want to run
off
over here
and
to
hung
make
it
the
by the side
bedroom?
of the fridge, so it'd be ready for
So let's
school
have
the
Maisie
next day.
stand right here.
A raspberry
Turn on
milkshake.
my bedroom light. Do you want to be the light?
Okay.
Oh, lovely. So nice and quiet, nice and down.
It up in the microwave.
String light or a little flick. What do you want to do to turn on? Little button. And then it's on. I turned on my bedroom light.
Then I went
and
up
played
in my
6
bedroom,
games of Tetris.
turned
You have to
on
be
my
the
bedroom light.
Tetris is the little blocks falling where you have to fit the right shapes in.
Okay.
Have you ever played Tetris?
Very good. 6 games of Tetris. 38 best ever score.
Take out a little PlayStation controller.
An hour later,
Perfect. You
Father
can play the game.
Okay.
So it's like he's over here, and you're watching the screen. And got to level 38, which is my 4th best ever. And then an hour later, Father came home. Do we all want to lean forward and look to the left? Because that's the moment. Lovely.
The way they've used like their bodies in physical theatre, and what you know, anything good or things that you're noticing. All right, does it? You know, I'm looking forward to it. Are we ready?
Things that make you go.
Things that make us go.
Yeah.
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 Food for thought. Right. Okay. When you're ready.
When we're ready. Okay.
My mum died 2 years ago.
I came home from school one day and no one answered the door. So I went and found the secret key that we kept under the flower pot outside the kitchen window. I let myself into the house and wiped my feet on the mat. Transition. I put the key in the bowl on the table. I took my coat off and hung it by the side of the fridge so it would be ready for school the next day. I gave 3 pellets of wrapped food to Toby, who is my pet rat. I made myself a raspberry milkshake and I heated it up in the microwave. Then I went up to my bedroom and turned on my bedroom light. And I played 6 games of Tetris. And I got to level 38, which is my 4th best ever score.
Well done!
Whoa, hold your applause! The final line is...
Hour later, Father came home.
Oh!
Now it's over.
Oh, amazing! I loved it. What did we think?
I love the microwave.
Oh, the microwave was great. Yeah. What else did we like? What was good? What worked well?
2 transitions.
The transition from different people playing Christopher, which worked really nicely. I liked it when HB was there and she just went like that. You know, it was quite nice. It was really good.
Because there's a certain knowledge that we are not props, we are not a flower pot. So the silliness of just leaning over the tush is leaning the flower
Grabbing
pot,
the key.
grabbing the key.
And it's quite nice as well that we've got that light and shade between the sadness, but also the comedy of, you know, oh, somebody's died. But then I went home and I made milkshake, you know, and there is sort of something quite humorous about it. It was really good. Just one thing I would say. James,
Yes.
if you could just do one of your actions that you come. When do you swap from you to HB's character? What was the thing?
I wiped my feet
I
on
wipe
the
my
mat.
feet.
I wipe my
And then
feet.
I go to be the fridge.
Right, okay. Easily, then know that you've did that. But that's excellent. Well done, give them another round of applause. Come and sit down, let's come on this group. You can come up here. I loved it. Why we don't mind.
We don't judge.
I do.
Oh, right,
Okay.
Apart from Coddy.
Judge and ye shall be judged.
Yeah. Right, here we go.
Mother died 2 years ago. I came home from school one day and no one answered the door. So I went and found the secret key that we keep under a flower pot outside the kitchen window. I let myself into the house and wiped my feet on the mat. I put the key in the bowl on the table. I took off my coat and hung it by the side of the fridge so it would be ready for school the next day, and gave 3 pellets of rat food to Toby, who is my pet rat.
Yeah.
I made myself a raspberry milkshake. And heated it up in the microwave. Then I went up to my bedroom and turned on my bedroom light. And played 6 games of Tetris. And got to level 38, which is my 4th best ever score. An hour later, Father came home from work.
That's it.
Well done! Excellent, really good. Right, what did we see? What did we notice that was good or different, interesting? HB?
Yeah, I liked how Sue.
Often with people and their pets are very connected, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot with with animals, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and it's like I think in the production they used a real rat.
Oh wow.
They didn't mime it, they had a real rat because I think he talks about Toby a lot. And so they felt like that was an important thing to have. And so I think they used a real rat on stage. I mean, normally they say don't work with animals and children, but rats are has anyone ever had a pet rat?
Several.
Yeah, they're very, very, very smart, intelligent creatures. So
And they can bite through steel.
they can bite through steel.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, so okay, brilliant. Right, okay, let me just check the time. Let's see where we're going on. So we could just scooch in a little bit, and I'm just going to hand out this last.
Amazing. Do you want to grab a chair for
Okay, I'm just
yourself?
going to collect that one in.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You want both?
Yeah. Can I have that one, Akila? Thank you. Let's put that there. Right, you guys share one here.
Of course we can.
If you share one there. Hopefully enough.
Are we looking at number 7 or number 6 or both?
Hang on a minute. I think we're going to look at page 6. Okay, page 6. Oh, Chris, there you go. Got a spare one. Got a spare one. Here we go. Spare one of that one. 2. I managed to get a spare one of that one. Right, okay, so I want to have a nice checkout. It's a horrible grey day, and I want to have a nice. So we're going to read page 6, and it's just a very short scene between Christopher and his father. Okay, so James, would you read Christopher for me?
Yes, certainly.
And Chris, would you read Ed, his dad?
Yes, of course.
Perfect. Okay. Off we go.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I didn't kill Wellington.
I know. Christopher, you have to stay out of trouble, okay?
Didn't know I was going to get into trouble. I like Wellington, and I went to say hello to him, but I didn't know that someone had killed him.
Just try and keep your nose out of other people's business.
I am going to find out who killed Wellington.
Were you listening to what I was saying, Christopher?
Yes, I was listening to what you were saying. But when someone gets murdered, you have to find out who did it so they can be punished.
It's a bloody dog, Christopher. A bloody dog.
I think dogs are important too. I think some dogs are cleverer than some people. Nicholas, for example, who comes to school on Thursdays, needs help eating his food, and he probably couldn't even fetch a stick.
Leave it.
I wonder if the police will find out who killed him and punish the person.
I said leave it, for God's sake.
Are you sad about Wellington?
Yes, Christopher, you could say that. You could very well say that.
Excellent.
Beautifully read, well done.
Yeah. Okay, so what is the we know what Christopher's kind of like. We've met Christopher before, but what is Ed, his dad, like? How does he come across?
Very strict. So
It's quite strict.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he's also empathetic as well in the way.
And what do we mean? So this is one of those where Christopher gets a hyperfixation, gets a hyper focus. What does that mean? House? What does it mean?
Obsessed with one thing.
Yeah, an
Yeah.
obsession with one thing.
i.e. Wellington.
Yeah? Like, so it could be that some people with neurodiversities get obsessed by one thing and then that's it for the rest of their lives. Like, you know, trains or airplanes or
Studio Ghibli movies.
Studio Ghibli movies.
Or
Hello Kitty.
they go through phases. They go like,
Yeah.
that I was like obsessed with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh,
Yeah.
love
I used to
that
go
show.
on and on and on about. I used to
love
like
that show.
hit my brother on the arm.
Yeah.
I used to be Only Fools and Horses mad, which I still am.
With the
You
jacket.
name it, I've got it.
Yeah,
Very Del
and
Boy.
it's like these little. So Christopher's gone into a hyper focus of like,
Yes.
I am going to find out who murdered this dog, right? And when somebody's got a neurodiversity, excuse you, what is it like to then tell that person to leave it?
Nice.
Yeah, it's really impossible. Okay, so I'm going to give these guys a little bit of direction, okay, and
Excuse me, we're talking about it.
and I'm going to give a spoiler over here because it's
Spoiler
important
alert.
to the scene. Christopher, you've got a hyperfixation. You're completely focused on. I'm going to find out who murdered this dog.
And when you play like, don't be not emotion, be emotionless.
Yeah, or just like a bit more factual,
Yeah.
right? Now, spoiler,
Spoiler.
Ed killed the dog. Dun dun dun!
And then there was another one.
Right, so I think somebody's blocked in out there, and that's why they're beeping. Yeah, so Ed killed the dog, and he's been having an affair with Mrs. Shears. Well, he's not an affair because his wife isn't there, but things have gone wrong. He killed the dog. So, Chris, when you read this now, I want you to be thinking about how you're feeling that your son is your son is fixated, but how does that make Ed feel then? If he knows he's killed the dog, and Christopher's going, but when someone gets murdered, you have to find out who did it so that they can be punished.
He's worried
So
about.
Christopher is going to be protecting.
Yeah, and he's going, it's a bloody dog, Christopher, it's a bloody dog, right? Yeah? I wonder if the police will find out who killed him and punish the person. Yeah? I said leave it for, yeah? So that motivation, when we were talking about motivations, so that's your motivation. You know you've killed that dog, right? And Christopher is focusing on getting, when we were talking about having contrasting motivations, okay? Right, same again, we're going to read that scene again, but that is what's happening. Okay, ready, James?
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I didn't kill Wellington.
I know, Christopher. You have to stay out of trouble, okay?
I didn't know I was going to get in trouble. I like Wellington. I went to say hello to him, but I didn't know that someone had killed him.
Just try and keep your nose out of other people's business.
I'm going to find out who killed Wellington.
Slow down. You can still feel.
I am going to find out who killed Wellington.
Good.
Were you listening to what I was saying, Christopher?
Yes, I was listening to what you were saying, but when someone gets murdered, you have to find out who did it so that they can be punished.
It's a bloody dog, Christopher. A bloody dog.
I think dogs are important too. I think some dogs are cleverer than some people. Nicholas, for example, who comes to school on Thursdays, needs help eating his food, and he probably couldn't even fetch a stick.
Leave it.
I wonder if the police will find out who killed him and punish the person.
I said leave it, for God's sake.
Are you sad about Wellington?
Yes, Christopher, you could say that. You could very well say that.
Brilliant, excellent, well done. So, you know, again, so we see like having that. Yeah, so Christopher's like going, and I think dogs are important, but I'm going to do this, and then and they're going to be punished, and Dad's going, just bloody leave it, you know. And so we're seeing these characters, and we're really seeing what it's like to experience that, not only as someone with neurodiverse, but as parents, you know, that the struggle. But obviously, this is very early in the play, so if you don't know the story, but it's going to come out anyway. Thank you so much. Next week, we're going to look at when Christopher discovers that his mum is not dead. Spoiler number 2.
Oh, there's another spoiler.
She left the family and she's been writing to Christopher for all these years, every month, and his dad has been hiding the letters. So we're going to look at that scene next. We're going to look at that next week, okay? So Connor, if you could just collect that. Sue, do you want to go get the kettle on already? We're going to do a checkout and then we can have our cup of tea. Okay, so
I've already got mine.
brilliant. Right, I'm going to clear this off. If you, has Connor taken your tea? Right, okay. So I'm going to, if someone can help me just clear the stuff off of here, we'll bring the table into the middle. Take.
Yeah, we're
HP,
just going to
do you
get
want-
a couple of shots of the tea and
Okay,
biscuits.
that's fine. Yeah, this is a very important part of the.
Yeah.
Right, everyone,
Do we need more
everyone look
bickies?
naturally.
Scary.
Yeah.
So it worked really well.
Ooh, you mean coming out
The
the
side of being menacing.
Yes, you
So
got
to me, that's like a really good performance.
Yeah, because I saw it in the West End. Oh, thank you.
But sometimes being the villain is like so much
much
fun.
fun.
Yeah.
Especially in Pantos.
It's
so
always
much
more
fun.
fun.
Yes.
I saw an interview with Richard E. Grant
Love Richard E. Grant.
talking about his role in Hudson Hawk, which is a really old movie with Bruce Willis.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff, not the thank you, Connor. But yeah, so he was talking about, but Bruce Willis was like, no, but I think it's quite an American thing.
It is.
My name is Maisie Barrett.
Hi.
So if you look at
Yeah,
me.
so completely forget I'm here. This is all
Okay.
just like a little.
Okay, my name is Maisie Barrett. I'm here because I wanted to know more about drama, about acting. I wanted to gain the skills to do drama because I have written a musical play about myself, about my life, and I wanted to gain some skills because I've never done acting before. The only acting I did was when I was about 5 or 6 years old. I played Angel Gabriel at school, and that was the only acting I did. But ever since then, I've always wanted to act, but I never got the chance to do it. It's a long story, and it's never too late, and I'm trying now, and that is the reason why I'm here.
Brilliant. How long have you been coming here?
I've been coming here for about probably, it could be less than 6 weeks. I think I've been here about 3 times. I never knew about the place. I was just doing shopping one weekend and noticed that there was a library in the area that wasn't there before. It just opened and I went in and I met Mercedes, and it all started there. I was really surprised. I live quite nearby. Well, actually, I don't live nearby, but where I met her was nearby. It was in Bromley. It was in Wickham, West Wickham, and so yeah.
Okay, and what would be your message to other people that were considering joining a group like this?
It's not about if you want to gain skills in acting. It's about coming out, meeting people, getting involved in the activities, the exercises that we do. It helps well-being, it makes you feel happy, it's all worth it. And also meeting people as well and interacting with people. And Mercedes, she is very empathetic, compassionate, and she's aware of difference. You know, she really is. She will help you if you want that help. She knows when you want the help. And I'm severely dyslexic, and she's very supportive with me. She's a lovely lady. Yeah.
Brilliant. And how has it helped you to build confidence and feel more confident?
It's helped me because of the exercises we do, gets you out of yourself, and because you feel like you know you are in a safe place where you could just be yourself. And she is also herself as well. You know, she moves about, she's silly, she's serious, she's everything, and you feel that you can do that too. So it's really lovely. I've gained a lot of confidence by being here. It's really lovely, and it's a short space of time, so I can imagine what I'll be like next year.
Brilliant. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
Anything else you can think of, Jim, or is there?
Yeah, so maybe like, why do you think these kind of initiatives, these groups are needed?
It helps you. It helps well-being. It helps mental health. It helps you to come out of yourself, come out of the little box. It helps you to come out of your house. Helps you to have a cup of tea with people. You know, it's just lovely. I really enjoy it when I come. I really do.
Do you join the classes in West Wickham as well as the Bromwich?
I'm going to now, because I was doing a improvisation and mining in Brixton, but the course is finished now until next year. So I'm going to be joining the Wednesday classes. So I'm going to be coming on the Wednesday and a Friday. Yeah.
Okay, that's fantastic. Yeah, I think that covers everything. Are there any particular shows that you're going to be featuring in yourself that you're preparing?
Yes, I'm going to be doing my when Mercedes, she hasn't made a promise, but she'll think about it. And I can't remember exactly what it's called. It's a coffee shop, I think, and we will get the opportunity to perform if we want to. And I've asked her if I can perform a monologue, which my story is based around the Windrush era. So I'm a Windrush child, and I've written my musical, which involves monologues. So I'm going to be performing my monologues. Hopefully.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Yeah, all best of luck with your...
How significant does classes like this play in, developing your skills?
It is so significant. It makes me cry. I'm getting really emotional right now, because without these classes, I couldn't do that. Tell my story the way I would like to do it, because it's about drama. And to perform, you don't just go on stage and perform. You perform with your whole body. You perform with the environment, and you also have to get the audience attention to love you. And I couldn't do it without Mercedes and the other teachers who teach me from the Recovery College. I don't know if you've heard of the Recovery College. The Recovery College is a college for it's run by the SLAM NHS, and it's for people. The students who go to that college are normally service users of SLAM, because I have two elderly children, older children with mental health and autism, and my third child is addicted to drugs. And I blame it all on me on what happened to me as a child. and well, that's me anyway. And the recovery college is made up of us, service users and carers, and even nurses and doctors can go if they want to. And yes, so and that's where I go. Yes.
That's powerful. And what would be your words of encouragement if people were perhaps a little bit reluctant to, consider joining a class like this?
Take your time, visualize it, make it happen in your head first. It's got to be there first, because everything we do starts from in the mind. If we're going to get up to open the door, we think about it first. Just relax, think about it, try and gain the confidence from the mind, and then try to come along. You don't have to be committed. And Mercedes will tell you that. You don't have to come every week. You don't even have to come and take part. You could just be an audience and sit and watch and relax and have a cup of tea. So come along, but let's come in the mind first and take your time, and don't worry. It will all be great. It's really great being here.
That is absolutely
lovely stuff.
I've never.
You know, society molds you into a certain person. So that wasn't me. I was always this bubbly. I mean, I was born in the month of August. I don't know what month you were born, but I'm Leo, the lioness, you know. So maybe 10 years ago, I wouldn't be able to do this. I wouldn't, you know. So it's all about when you know you have a problem, or when you know things are not right in your life, then it's your responsibility to fix it. It's also your responsibility to fix the cracks beneath your feet that's made by society. We can't keep on pointing, oh, it's your fault, it's your... Point at you and fix it. And that's what I did. And because of that, I'm not angry. I'm not angry with anyone. I'm not angry with anybody. You know, I've forgiven. There's affirmation that I normally say when I'm having a bath. I forgive, I love and forgive the past. I love and forgive the past. That's what I do. And it's all about me now. It's all about me.
And how does the role of acting allow you to put yourself in a different mindset, project a different persona almost? Can you say anything about that?
Yes, the role of acting helps you to perform who you really are inside, and it helps you to do that in a way that you are giving a gift to your audience, and so it helps you to create this powerful image and powerful aura that you are giving a gift to the audience, and you're giving a gift to yourself. And especially if it's what you've always wanted to do, because this is what I've always wanted to do all of my life, but I couldn't read, I couldn't write, and I couldn't talk, and I was all in myself. You know, I remember because I used to go to church when I was a lot younger, and I remember when my deacon heard that I was expecting a baby, he asked, how did she do that? You know, because I was so shy, I couldn't even look in your eyes, you know. So I've been on a long journey, and life is a journey, and life is a journey, and you're also doing it in a school. We're learning every single day. I mean, I love learning. You're learning, you're developing, and that is what we do as human beings, and we do it together. We surely do it together, and we do it on a planet that needs love. And that's another story, but we're doing it in love on a planet that needs a lot of love, or else I don't know what's going to happen to us as human beings.
I'm so glad you said that about a journey. It is an important point, and that's a very, you know, we're all a work in progress, aren't we?
Absolutely. As humans, we don't know why. We don't know why we came, but we know we've got to get on with it. And then when it's at the end, take a bow and go proud.
beautiful. It would be nice to get a couple of shots with you talking to Mercedes.
Okay.
We've got some B-roll.
I'd like to talk next. He's part
Yes.
of my team.
Fantastic.
And then how many? and then I'm thinking of something to say. But I mean,
Yes, yeah.
well, I can tell you about this. This is for Full Monty,
Okay.
and so I don't know how they're going to do men getting their kit off.
Okay.
But
yeah.
have you seen the Full Monty?
No, I haven't. But there's
Oh.
something I want to ask you. Then.
Yeah.
You know, when you are looking for someone, you come on the stage and you're looking for someone. How would you?
Well, if you're what the space you're coming into.
Yeah.
If you're like, if it's like a busy train station,
Yeah.
like sometimes when we're already as we come on, like
Yeah.
looking around.
Yeah.
If purpose and
Yeah.
you're looking around,
Yeah.
no, they're not here, and then someone
Yeah.
goes, do you know what I mean?
Okay.
I think it depends your character and what the space is. Is
Yeah,
there a
yeah.
space that you had in mind?
Well, if you know, if the
As you can see, it goes all the way back.
Yeah.
And the audience sitting here, our view, you have to bring the actors a lot to the front. So
Yeah.
if you've got somebody over here and someone's at the back,
Yeah.
it actually looks like you're in two different spaces.
Right,
So the
right,
way you use
yeah.
space, like the way we were talking about bringing space together.
Yeah, I remember that.
So this
Yeah.
is, if you
Brilliant.
Off camera, and then talking about how long you've been working with Mercedes and your role here. But yeah, just ad lib a little bit.
Fantastic. Well, my name's Conor McGibney. I have been working with Mercedes for just under a year now. I left teaching just over a year ago. I had met a wonderful dance teacher that was covering at the same time, and we covered a class together. And when I was saying, yeah, I'm finished with teaching, the stress is just a bit too much, I don't know if it's quite the right direction for me yet, she said, do you know what, I need to put you in contact with my friend Mercedes. She's a wonderful person. She's a proper firework of a woman. She can get stuff done. She does a million things at once. She knows so many people. And I went, yes, please, that's exactly what I want. So I started working underneath her in Quest, doing drama workshops. We do drama, well-being through drama. It's all about performance without pressure, using play to explore people's challenges, their difficulties, but also just having fun on a Wednesday and Friday morning, having a cup of tea at the end of the session. It was really the opposite of all the negatives of teaching, this high-stress environment. And it was so lovely to be a part of. And after working with her for just about a month, I sort of eked out the suggestion, do you know what Dungeons and Dragons is, Mercedes? And she went, oh no, I don't, but that sounds lovely. Tell me about it. And I did, and she immediately went, right, let me put you in contact with people I know from these workshops. We are going to get you running Dungeons and Dragons as part of Quest, because that's your passion, that's your hobby, that's your love. And now, a year later, as well as helping out and assisting with drama workshops, I get to run Dungeons and Dragons sessions as my job, and that's because of Mercedes. Without her connections, without her drive, the advertising she does, the resources she's brought in, I would just be playing once a month with friends for fun. But now I'm doing that and working with an amazing group of people. So yeah.
Brilliant. Can you tell us about a particular person that comes to mind that you've seen a particularly profound transformation?
Oh my God. They're everyone. When you meet...
Sorry, can I just say, when you get asked a question, could you kind of build it into your answer just so we don't use
Of course. If I had to give someone who I've seen a profound transformation in, and I can't say everyone because that's my first answer, Caroline is a wonderful woman who comes to the Wednesday sessions. And it's less of a transformation because she's always had that confidence. But it's a transformation of her realizing she has that confidence. She came in very quiet saying, I don't know if this is for me. I haven't done drama in ages. Oh, I don't know if I'm being silly saying this. And now you can see that she realizes that she's always been correct, confident, inspiring, charismatic. I desperately want to get her into one of my D&D games because if you sat her down at a table, her improvisational and performance skills are phenomenal, as well as her just being a lovely person. So yeah, I'd say Caroline.
Brilliant. And can you tell us a bit about the is it Dungeons and Dragons, and what does that involve?
So Dungeons and Dragons is a collaborative
improvisational storytelling game. You sit down around a table with a bunch of friends. One person, the dungeon master, creates the story, and the rest of you are characters in that story, and you influence it and change it with your decisions, and with a few rolls of dice. So you can't just say, I chop the bad guy's head off and we win, let's go to the pub. But it's so much more than that, because it can be used as a tool, not just for improvisation, but as a therapeutic tool, as living out experiences of defeating bad guys, being the heroes, solving puzzles, overcoming challenges, and you're doing that with friends around the table or strangers that quickly become friends. It's my favourite hobby, played it since I was in uni, and now I'm getting to do it as a job.
Amazing. That's really great. So, talk about some of the common challenges that people face when they're new to the classes.
I think some of the common challenges people will face, like with anything new, is what is this? You come in with an expectation. Am I going to be shoved onto the stage and asked to perform? Am I going to be asked to read a monologue when I have difficulty reading scripts? Do I need to know stuff about drama and performance? You're always going to be worried, am I not good enough going into a new space? But I think with Quest and with any space that's worth its salt, is it will make you feel enough. Just being here, if you sip your tea from the tea and coffee time, listen to people talk, and just take in the information, you've done enough. It's never about being pressured into doing anything. It's about allowing yourself to take what you need from this class, whether it's just company or getting to perform as a person who hasn't done drama in a long time.
That's brilliant. And if anybody that's maybe feeling a bit anxious or apprehensive about joining a class like this, what would be your words?
If anyone is feeling apprehensive or feeling uncertain about joining a class like this or doing anything, just ask yourself, what's the worst that can happen? If it doesn't work, then you go home and you say, what else is there? If it works a little bit, you go home and say, shall I try that again? Or do I look for that somewhere else? There is never anything wrong with giving something a go. You just keep yourself safe. You know your own boundaries better than anyone. And if you ever feel uncomfortable, you remove yourself from a situation, because no one should force you to be in a situation where you don't feel safe.
Fantastic. Are there any particular sort of productions that you're involved with that you're working towards over the next, say, 6 months?
No, I'm not involved in any productions myself. Coming out of drama university and being a drama teacher, I've sort of stepped away from the performance world and actually really liked my space in this performance without pressure, not working towards a big play and looking at mental health and positivity through drama.
Okay. Brilliant. Is there anything you wanted to share about your personal sort of challenges that you've overcome, or?
No, I think I find myself being very lucky in the situation that I'm in life. Financially stable. I have a fantastic wife who takes care of me and I take care of her. I would consider myself neurotypical, and I know that comes with a huge amount of privilege. Being able to do tasks that other people might find difficult, not have labels put on me that some people might find uncomfortable. So I just think being there for anyone who needs help or has challenges and needs an environment like Quest, I'd feel amazing to be able to do that.
Fantastic. Great. I think, we'll try and get a couple of B-roll shots of you talking to Mercedes.
Can I just start one question?
Yeah,
just,
of course.
How is this beneficial in the local community?
Oh my goodness. I think Quest is so beneficial in the local community because we want to draw in everyone, but I think especially people who the local community or the government of a local community can sometimes neglect. Once you leave the school system, those support systems sort of fall away. You don't have special classes to help support your needs. You don't have a teacher figure looking out for you day to day, week to week. You don't even have a schedule that is laid out for you that you can help and use to help you follow and get through the day. Leaving something like the educational system, you're just out in the open. You're in the sea on your own. So places like this can provide you that support, that scheduling, that routine that a lot of people can feel comfortable with.
Smashing.
Nice.
Amazing.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much. Right, B-roll with Mercedes, or
Yeah, I think so. That would certainly help.
rather than me dressed in leather and a ball gown.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, I might head downstairs then.
Yes. Well,
Does that mean the show was 360, or
Yeah.
half the time people were just
So
watching the wall?
instead of the audience being around and the actors went in the round, the audience were facing out in the middle, facing out, and then they moved. So there was a scene in the woods, and it was all lit up, and then it moved, and there was like ruins of a castle, and that's where. Do you know what I mean? And it was so amazing, and Puck would think like it was. Because they knew what they were saying, and we kind of picked up the meaning.
It very much feels like a Disneyland ride, like the Ford.
My name is HB. I use they them pronouns, and I've been coming to Quest Soul Theatre for 2 months now. The classes are really fun, inclusive. We're very accepting of each other, and it has been my ideal environment because I have been part of a youth company where I have sort of had to put up with people not treating me kindly, and sort of being shouted at for not doing things right, things like that. And what I enjoy is I kind of like how we use the drama school terminology, but it's in a sort of safe environment. It's a safe environment, and we can just express ourselves and be silly, have fun, and just be ourselves without the fear of judgment, and without the fear of being criticised. What I kind of do enjoy as a person, because I am an ex-drama student who dropped out of college for accessibility and health reasons. And it has been quite a difficult journey for me. And when I got back into acting, I kind of got criticised by a colleague at work, because I did a performance for under fives that I regretted, because I got overwhelmed, I got very stressed by the audience, and I kind of wish that my colleague who was part of the learning team kind of was more understanding, rather than just giving me a long lecture on basic techniques and things, which I've been taught about before, but I haven't been taught properly because of high expectations and things like that. But here at Quest Soul, I feel like we are talking about things that I wish I was taught as an actor. And I do feel that this is the best thing that I've ever experienced as an actor, because there's no one criticising, and there's nobody judging in a way that my ex would invalidate me as an actor, but back then we were kids. But as we got older, he sort of did validate me as well, but I sort of don't want that unwanted memory or those unwanted images in my head. But then what I kind of am enjoying at the moment is object handling in historic and heritage settings like museums. I like the idea of doing like living history, object handling, reenactment, and historical cosplay, which the professional term is costumed interpretation, where you get a costumed actor in a heritage setting such as a museum or a historic ship. And that character is very much linked to the subjects that the museum explores.
Fantastic. And do you feel like a sense of a new, deeper sense of confidence, or more?
I am more motivated when I'm here, because if I'm to be more in a mainstream environment, then it would be an entirely different story. But like I said, when I was part of a youth company, it was high pressure, and I sort of got told to get used to it, let people get away with things, let people judge me, let people make comments on my body, things like that, and sort of invalidate me, make me feel this big over tiny mistakes. It just wasn't the ideal environment for me as an autistic person, because even though my mother did contact that company just to let them know and to be patient with me when it came to high pressure tasks like learning lines, monologues, and be clear with stage directions, things like that. But then I get that they get stressed and things like that, but then that still doesn't make it okay.
No, I understand that for sure. So, in a practical sense, how would you say these classes have helped you to find your voice and confidence?
Well, it's I think it's just the environment and the way that Mercedes and Connor make things so inclusive and interactive. And if there's something you feel like that if something's not right for you, then that's okay.
Brilliant. Anything else you can think of, Connor?
Did you come with Connor? I've changed roles.
What am I thinking?
Yeah. So how are these? I suppose my go-to question, isn't it? How are things like this beneficial for the community, and how is it?
Because especially people like me can.
So when I asked, could you add the question into your answer? Just because I'm going to cut out our voices, so
Okay.
So how does it benefit the community having projects like this? If you can kind of mould that into the.
So the community benefits would definitely be for people like me who are at risk of discrimination or mistreatment. It's just somewhere to go to, just to experience what you want to experience and just be who you want to be. You just be who you want to be without the fear of judgment or criticism, and everybody here accepts you, and you feel like you are part of a company.
That's brilliant. Yeah, like a community. You think? Would you say like feels like?
Yeah, community. It's a community feel. Yeah. Someone's calling me.
Oh, wow. I think that's
It's a
brilliant.
scam. That's okay.
Yeah, no, that's really.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I tell you what, we'll do a thing where if you're plasticine and I'm gonna sculpt you. So if you go into a nice neutral position, okay, I'm gonna sculpt you into we're talking about heroes and villains. Okay, so I'm just gonna sculpt you into sort of like a hero shape. So reaching out. There we are. That's it. Head up. Right. Okay. And then really kind of lift. That's it. Like that. Fantastic. Brilliant. So with hero poses, they're very open, very strong, very bold. Fantastic. Right, and just let that go.
Okay.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
The sort of, right, we're going to make a villain now.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you, that's all right if I touch your shoulders? Okay, so you're going to come in this way. I don't know, it's sort of trying to sort of, like this, but like sort of hands up a bit. And kind of, tuck your head in, so it's like that. Yes.
Oh, that's good, yeah.
I think with villains is that the idea is that with a hero, we're very open.
Yeah,
because we're
it's a Wonder Woman pose.
Yeah, we almost also we've nothing to hide. Heroes don't have. Whereas when we're a villain, we fold in.
Yeah.
It's because it's reflecting the fact that we're folded in and we've got something that we're hiding from the audience, you know, and that. But I mean, it's like Richard III.
Yeah.
With his hunchback became like a big figure of villainy, but he didn't necessarily. I don't think he had a hunchback.
No,
he had a curved spine, right?
Yeah. I mean, Shakespeare made it up.
Yeah. I think adding to that story, you know. But yeah, is that enough?
Yeah. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Okay. Hi. Should I do it like a?
Talk to me.
Hi, my name's Howes, and been coming to Crest for as long as I can remember.
And what was the inspiration for joining in the first place?
Basically, since I don't do anything on Fridays, I was a bit like because I was new, because I was bored up there, because I was used to be because I was curious, because I used to travel to West bear with me a minute. I used to go to Walthamstow Central, but that was such a long way. But so I looked on Facebook, and I saw there's a amateur dramatic theatre group for people with disabilities. So basically I gave Mercedes a ring, and here I am today.
And what was you hoping to get out of these classes before you joined?
Basically, I wanted to get out. I wanted to get out of the house, but not rather than stay in the house all day. Because I used to used to not leave the house at all day. But and this is a good excuse to meet new people, get creative, and just have a bloody good time.
Brilliant. And what do you think's been the biggest benefit?
Meeting just from working with people with other people with different ideas. Just having it's a good excuse to socialise. Just have a laugh.
Do you think it's helped you to build confidence?
100%. And also
so could you say that one more time? But then. If you can build the questions into the answers, because we want to chop out both of our voices.
Oh, beg your pardon. Sorry.
Right.
Okay.
So if you say it's really helped me, or coming here over the last.
Since I've been coming here, it's my confidence award is good, and Mercedes has made me an ambassador for Crest. That means I went above and beyond. Like go all the workshops, all the events, always here on time, and love it. And I used to do the creative writing course in West Wickham on Fridays, but unfortunately there's not enough people signed up for it, so that had been cancelled.
Okay, what would be your words of encouragement to other people that were considering joining a class like this?
Just do it. It's like, what you don't want to do is like, what you don't want to do. I would thoroughly encourage people to get just give it a go. You never know until you try. And then because what you don't want to do is like when you don't have regrets. You don't have to say, oh, I should have done that. Oh, but so and so. That's one thing in life you have to do, not have regrets and not miss out.
And what do you think are sort of some of the wider benefits to the community for initiatives like this?
It just basically gets the community together, just like it just like merges all the different communities, like people with disabilities, non-disabilities, and it's basically like, imagine it's like a spider web. It's like networking. So because some people might be good at this sort of thing, and other people might be other people might be good at this sort of thing, and basically I'm a stand-up comedian because I work at the theatre on Saturdays, which is the Bridge Theatre, London Bridge. Basically, that's gonna you never know until you try. People out there, there must be thousands of people in the Bromley area and beyond who would love this sort of thing. And to have it on our doorstep, you can't get any closer than that. So you can just get one bus all the way to Bromley South, and then just like have a really good laugh with your fellow colleagues.
That's brilliant. I think that's mostly what I wanted to ask. Is there anything else, Jim, you can think?
No, you kind of said my go-to question there. So
yeah, I got in there with that one. I'm learning. Yeah. All right, I think that's brilliant. That's really going to help.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, lovely, smashed it.
So anyway, right. So this I'm going to wash my hands while we're here. You can eat that last biscuit. And so, how was your interview, Hals? It was good?
I basically just talked.
Good. You've got excellent confidence now because of that, so that's fantastic.
And I told him that I got made an ambassador.
Yeah,
So I felt like a Blue Peter presenter.
I know, and you're not the only one who's broken a badge or lost a badge. Sue's lost it, and Connor broke his badge as well.
And so the one person who hasn't lost it is Steve.
Yeah, I know. I've put mine at home somewhere safe.
You know what they say? You never had it to begin with. When you lose it, when you lost it, you got nothing to lose.
Oh, there's biscuits in the tea.
Oh my god.
Right, I'm gonna.
You can say tea and biscuits.
Tea and biscuits, taking it a bit literally.
To the extreme.
To the extreme, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, make sure I've got all my stuff and it doesn't get mixed up with the wrong little things. Yeah, I'll leave my grapes there. These are mine as well. This tea bag needs sorting out.
Oh no.
But yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it really. And we're just making tea. Do you need any more, Jimmy, or are we still going? So Quest is a community interest company that delivers inclusive and accessible creative art workshops for adults that spark positive well-being.
Let's do that again, but if you could say your name first.
Okay, sorry, yeah.
That's fine.
Okay. Do you want my full name or just Mercedes?
Yeah, full name.
Full name, okay. Hi, I'm Mercedes Yearley, and I am the CEO and founder of Quest Soul Theatre, CIC. So Quest is a community interest company that delivers inclusive and accessible creative art workshops for adults that spark positive well-being.
Brilliant, okay, thank you for that.
Sorry, there might be people coming in.
That's all right. Do you want to tell us a bit about your background as a teacher and where the genesis of the idea came from initially?
Of course. My kind of journey into drama was I was always on stage as a child, and I did lots and lots of shows, and it's where that was my tribe at school, and I didn't know if I wanted to go to drama school because I loved movies and different things. So I went to study a BA in Media and Performance at Salford University and loved it. So I did like radio plays, multimedia theatre, directing, and it was like a whole host of things. I then went into teaching and thought that I really wanted to then share my passion with young people. And I trained as a teacher and I worked in secondary schools. I was a good teacher. I loved teaching, and I had Ofsted come visit me, and outstanding classes, fantastic. But I started to struggle, and I would get in trouble with paperwork, structure, classroom management, and what started off as a real passion and fuel, I then ended up feeling incredibly I didn't recognize the person I was anymore, and I almost lost my job because I would be impulsive, I was distracted, I was chaotic. And I didn't really understand what was happening. And so I left teaching and I moved over to Singapore. So I actually went overseas and taught English and drama as a foreign language. And I went to teach little children. So I've been teaching the teenagers, and I thought maybe it's teenagers. And I worked with little children and I was teaching them. And I loved it. But again, I kind of reached a point where I had a burnout. And it was really difficult for me. My boyfriend, who we then got married overseas, he came over and we started a family, we got married, so I became the mother. I was staying at home or working part-time to bring my children up. But my mental health was really up and down, and I really struggled with being a mum. I struggled with who am I as a person? Where's my career? I was watching my husband kind of work his way up through the company, and I felt like I was just at the bottom.
So we moved to Singapore, Canada, and then France. And when I was in France, I actually became a content creator, and I was making videos, and I became an ambassador for a lip sync app, and ended up doing an advert for Ghostbusters, that was shown on American TV, and I was really good at it, and I started getting paid. But again, I reached a point where I just hit a wall, and I had a mental health crisis. Sorry, the builders are out there.
Finished their tea break and back on the tools.
Do you want me to ask them if they...
No, well...
Sorry.
It's alright, it's alright.
I'll keep going in the silences.
Just trying to think about how we can anchor it around the challenges you was facing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You spoke this morning about burnout.
Yeah,
etc.
I had burnout, and I had a mental health crash or crisis, and I was in bed for maybe 3 months, and I would get up to take my children to school and to pick them up, and I just couldn't do anything else. So everything I'd achieved, even though it was amazing, just got put to one side. And during lockdown, I lost my mum. So I came back to England to look after her, and then I realised I was really homesick. So I thought that because I lived in another country that was affecting my mental health. And I thought that I was feeling very isolated, even surrounded by people. It wasn't my language, it wasn't my culture. I came back to England and I had another mental health, and it seemed like each time was worse than the last. But it wasn't until coming here and actually being able to express myself fully to a doctor. And I mean, I have to say that the NHS, the support they gave me at the time was amazing, and it got me on the road. But the talk therapy they offered was 6 sessions, and I had to wait 9 months, and I know that that's got longer. And I was so surprised by, my goodness, how bad you have to be put to the front of the queue. I mean, I was sort of saying I was suicidal. My husband took me to the hospital. It was a really this is it. Talk therapy is an amazing therapy, but it wasn't really helping me. So I went on a journey, and I realised that drama was the one thing I would get out of bed for. So I'd be in my pyjamas all day and struggling, and then there was rehearsal in the evening for a play at a local theatre, and I was getting out and doing it, saying, right, I have to go. And people saying, how can you go from this state to that? And I said, but I'm not me, I'm someone else. I could become someone else. I could put my problems aside, and I could physically and emotionally be someone else. And it was such an amazing thing. And somebody said, oh, have you heard about drama therapy? So it led me down a road of bringing the thing that I really love to do with my mental health journey. And I thought, I mean, I'm not a drama therapist, but what if there's other people like me who are struggling, are facing barriers, and would like to do drama, but find it overwhelming?
Very important.
I wondered if there were other people like myself who were facing barriers, whether with their mental health or physical health or neurodiversity, that there was a place for them to come and play. So I saw groups for gardening, for yoga, meditation, which I find very difficult. But I was like, I want to do drama. So there was a space for that. So I started a class, and we had just a few people. And then it started to build. And suddenly I was surrounded by a community of like-minded people who really love drama and love just being in the space. And I think what I took from my drama therapy, and I'm not a drama therapist, but I have some trainings to take from that, the process rather than performance. So it was like performance without the pressure. Each class is insular, so if you miss a week, it doesn't matter. Whatever we do in that lesson is its own thing. It means it takes shame away. So if people miss something, if they aren't feeling up to it, if they're not able to come, they don't feel ashamed that like, oh, I can't go back because I've let people down. It also allows people who love drama but have never performed to be in a space where they can be with like professional actors. We have people that have been on the stage, been on paid jobs, and they act together, and it's more about being in the room together in the process. And along that journey myself, I got diagnosed last year with ADHD and bipolar. ADHD I kind of feel more comfortable with. I think people see it's like a bit quirky, and I feel like there's a lot of talk about ADHD, but there is a huge negative side of it, which is the overwhelm, the burnout, the hyperfocus, the impulsivity, those kind of things that my family and friends have to support me with. But now I actually have a diagnosis, a language, I have medication now, and that has meant I've been able to run my business for the first time succeed rather than burn out, because I think I would have just quit if I didn't have that support. But I've done amazing things, and people are like, oh my God, this is so creative, it's innovative. And I'm like, there are so many people that do have a neurodiversity that struggle with staying in work. We might get ideas, but it's a really tough thing. But my journey to the classes started with one class a week with like 2 people, to now we have 3 drama classes across Bromley. We have creative writing, Dungeons and Dragons. We have a creative arts cafe. I do workshops, I do events. It's a whole thing. And all my questies as well volunteer, and we help each other out. And it's become this amazing community of several hundred people, which is incredible. And I'm just so proud of them as well, finding a space that we all belong in is really, really important.
Brilliant. And if you could say something about creating a space for people to feel like they can be themselves was one of the points that we touched on this morning. And then if we could go on to talk a bit about play. Remember we spoke about that, and about how therapeutic that is, and there's no judgment, and it's people being themselves and feeling free to express themselves.
Absolutely. It's been important to create a space for everybody, because I feel like the arts should be available to everybody. So if somebody comes to me with a certain need, whether that's a learning disability, physical, or anything else, I see it as, I try to stay curious. Like, oh, okay, how does that work? And because we're not performing at the end, it means it allows that there isn't that pressure, like it's got to be right, and it has, all those things we worry about. It's like, yes, come into the space and play. We have lots of different characters. We have people in their 20s, all the way through to our oldest participant is 89. And I still make him roll around on the floor if he's able to do it. We have people that come with their carers, and the carers sometimes join in as well, or they sit, like, they're also welcome. I don't ever get annoyed by the boundaries. I just question myself, like, how can I involve that person? And it allows then for my participants to feel safe and included, and it allows them to be themselves. I think one important thing is, as we grow up and to be adults, we lose the permission to play. We're told to grow up and to put childish things away. But through play is how we learn, And I think we have to see ourselves as vessels that learn. And that is one of the reasons why I called my company Quest, because we're on a journey. Like, we're on a journey and it never ends. Like, it's just a quest, not necessarily to better yourself, but to learn about yourself and what your purpose is. And every day can be different. And so I wanted the name of my company to reflect that journey. And we have so many people who come with neurodiversity or mental health issues. We also have very neurotypical people who are professional actors and actresses who come into the space and share, but we're all together in it, which is really lovely, and it's so important. And I think that has been the success of what we've done, of what we've built, because it's very different than a lot of the traditional spaces. I was going to say in Bromley, but possibly like across the UK, we always expect an end performance rather than let's just get together and play. Let's just have fun. Let's just play with each other. Let's play as a group this morning, and then have a look round and then conversations open up when we feel safe with each other. The conversations we have around tea, sometimes people open up about their lives, their everything, and it's like the drama has allowed them to build trust, and then they really open up, and that's where you see that support of the well-being is through play, playfulness and curiosity. Like, it's so important.
So well articulated. Purpose, belonging. So let's touch on belonging. So who comes to the classes? And I've kind of touched on it, but just to extrapolate that a bit more.
Okay. Are you okay, James? You can go if you want to, or if you're just. He's giving. I'm seeing him out the corner of my eye. I feel very supported.
So who comes, and when you are here, what happens?
Right. Okay. So the kind of participants that come through our door, we have a huge range of young people. We have people in their 20s all the way up to their 80s. We have people who are retired. We have people who work part-time. Here, I'll start that again.
Okay.
So the participants that we have that come to our sessions, we have a really wide range of diversity, backgrounds, age, so many neurodiversities, disabilities. We have people in their 20s up to their 80s. We have people who are local residents and people who come from further afield. We have people who have been on stage, have acted in professional jobs. We also have people who haven't done anything. Like, the last time they did drama was at school. And they remember the joy of it and they'd like to try it out. And by removing the element of performance, they find the class much more accessible. So when you come to a class, the class is 2 hours. But we do an hour and a half of drama, and then we have half an hour of tea and chats. So during the hour and a half, we always do a check-in, we do a warm-up, we have a main activity. We will study, could be script work, Shakespeare, physical theatre. I like to ask my groups, we co-produce the content. I say, what do you want to learn? And people might say, I'd like to do audition techniques, or I'd like to look at Arthur Miller. So last term we looked at The Crucible, and we studied The Crucible, which has got a lot of reflections with what's happening in the world today. But then as a group, we also went to see it here at Bromley Little Theatre, and it was amazing because we studied it in class, it gave the participants a real knowledge of the script. And then we went to see the show together, and there was it was lovely to see that their understanding of it. So we will do script if people are unable to stand up, if they're in a wheelchair or they need to be seated, we always make that work. We have volunteers and in the session that work with people with higher needs. So we spend, so yes, we've got an hour and a half of check-in, activities, warm-ups, games, maybe some script work, group work. We have a small time to perform something or share work. And then we always have a check-out to make sure that everybody is happy and safe to leave. And then we have tea and biscuits, which is very important for people then to really connect and bond with each other over conversation. So that's kind of what will happen during a session.
Okay, brilliant. How do you feel about saying this?
Quest Soul Theatre is a place for adults to explore creativity and connection.
And another line we came up with was well-being through drama is like going to the gym for your emotional and creative self.
Emotional and creative self. You're really testing my
memory,
my acting memory ability. So that, what was it? Quest Soul Theatre.
No, so
no.
This one,
Well-being through drama is like going to the gym, but for your emotional and creative self, or well-being.
Yeah, so,
no, we said well-being already. Okay, yeah. Right. Well-being through drama is like going to the gym, but it's for your well-being. Oh no, I did that wrong. Emotional and creative self. Right, sorry. Well-being through drama is like going to the gym, but it's for your emotional and creative self.
Love that. Brilliant.
Would you like me to say our three main goals or mission statement is creativity, curiosity, and community?
Yes, please.
Okay. So the three main goals of Quest Soul Theatre are creativity, curiosity, and community.
Brilliant. Could we try that a little bit further, just so we've got room to have some graphics?
Okay, yeah.
One thing that is so important about drama is the element of storytelling. And storytelling is something that human beings have done for thousands and thousands of years. It's how we connect and bond with each other. It's how we share stories about who we are and how we defeat dragons. The stories that are around for thousands of years. And so drama is a really great way to bring together a whole host of stories with all different characters, and it allows the participants to really become those people and be transported. That gets them to have one step. Do you want me to stop with the banging?
Yeah, and what you're saying is so bang on. Like it's just 100% going to be used.
Okay, I'll all right. One of the important things about drama is the element of storytelling. People have been telling stories for thousands of years. It's part of human nature. It's how we bond together in our tribes. It's a survival technique. It's a way of sharing who we are as people, of passing down traditions and all sorts of amazing things about us as people. What we have in drama and theatre is the idea that we bring together all these different stories and we get to play with them. We get to go into character and transport ourselves from our everyday into a character that we might have no connection with, but we will learn different ways to use language, different ways to empathize, whether you're the hero or the villain. And people get to take those stories that we do in class and take them on and can use them in everyday life outside in the real world. And yet we have the safety to play with those stories in here. And the great thing about drama is that there's a never-ending source of stories, and Yeah, sorry, I lost my train of thought there
No,
at the
that
end.
was, again, that was just brilliant, but it's just this
Yeah.
distraction. But we can.
Yeah, but it's not
Come
affecting the audio levels on here.
You
It's
sure?
not like,
Yeah?
when I
All
hear it
right.
bang, it's not like.
Sometimes our ears pick up different things.
Yeah. So just to twist it then.
Yeah.
Developing empathy.
Okay.
Making us reflect on our own experience is an important point.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, just gonna.
That's all right.
Crank the old drill there. But that's a really important about taking on another character.
Yeah. Okay.
And you said it yourself, you know, that we may not.
Okay. They're still going to make noise, so I'll just keep going. I think there is a huge important. Sorry, start that again. Something that is really important is becoming another character, so we see the world from a different perspective. It is really, really important, especially today, that we stay curious about different people, different points of view, and try to have an understanding, instead of shutting down, an understanding of people's narratives and their stories. We often play villains and heroes, and in the classes we have quite in-depth conversations about how that person has become that, or how we might see that point of view. And I think it helps with our own view of what's happening in the world right now. So for example, we studied Giant, which is a play about Roald Dahl, and it's about whether we can separate the art from the artist. And the play is fantastic, but it also bringing into the classroom really big issues about anti-Semitism, but also about artists and media and all these things that really open up conversations. These are the conversations we need to be having. So making space for that in class is incredibly important. Learning about what motivates people can also help us to understand our own motivations and the motivations of others. And I think a lot of my class, the participants, are very open-minded, and I think it really helps them see other people in their own lives in a different light, and that can really help with our mental health and our feeling of belonging, and try to be more positive and open-minded and curious about people rather than shut down.
That's brilliant.
There is something so beautiful about the people who come to our class. There is a word that's being thrown around, intergenerational, which is kind of like a very cool word at the moment. People are trying to aim for that, and our classes are intergenerational just by default. We have people in their 20s up to people in their 80s, but when you're doing a play or a scene together, it doesn't matter how old you are. I think sometimes young people say, "Oh, I went to somewhere and it was full of old people," and but what we do is, it's so much fun. It's fun for everybody, and it's just so amazing to see young people and older people having conversations, just being like equals in the space. So being intergenerational is amazing, and it is a very beautiful thing to see.
Can you talk a little bit about Quest being a part of a network of other organisations in Bromley that offer support?
Sure. So Quest Soul Theatre, part of our goal is about collaboration with other grassroots companies, organisations, charities. Bromley is actually, it's a really big borough. There's a lot going on. There are some amazing people here. I work with other practitioners doing wellbeing through art and dance and music. I also collaborate with Community House and Community Links. with the loneliness champion of Bromley, Helena Jenkins, who brings people together. I've worked in care homes, I've gone to schools. There are so many people under the banner of creative health. So anybody that's helping people with their physical or mental health creatively. So rather than just prescribing antidepressants, it's about saying to someone, okay, you're feeling disconnected, you're feeling lonely, here is a choir or a gardening group. And I think what's important is that if someone comes to me and they don't necessarily fit in, or they think, oh, this isn't for me, by having my connections, I can say to them, oh, I know someone that does art, I know that somebody who does nature walks, I know someone who does sound baths, and I'm able to signpost them. With the NHS being, I think it's 1 in 4 people will struggle with their mental health, and that's a lot of people. The NHS can't, it can't cope with the amount of people that are struggling, and we're talking about it, which is great, but the help and support isn't there yet. We need to be a community where we help each other and we stop stigmatizing mental health. We need to kind of be like, okay, like, let's help, let's support you, I see you, I hear you. And I think by knowing other groups and working with them, it makes me stronger. I can't do everything on my own. So I have to work with other people. And it means that our community isn't just Questies who do drama. Many of our participants are crossed over into other groups, such as Casper or the local theatres, or they volunteer, Greener Cleaner, and we all come together. So it's lovely. I always go out and I always see somebody I know, and it makes Bromley really feel like home, because I'm not originally from Bromley, I'm from Somerset. I've been here for about 4 years. And my daughter was saying to me, can we walk down the road and not see somebody that you know? I'm always like, hey, you know, but it's part of that community, and that helps my mental health as somebody who's been very isolated. When you see somebody you know, it just makes you feel supported. So like it's lovely to see my Questies out, but also these other organisations. It's this creative health. We have to think about it holistically rather than just trying to deal with it through medications and talk therapy. It's a community effort that we need.
Brilliant. Do you want to just summarise the story about Rachel?
Okay, yes.
So if we was to say, could you tell us a particular attendee, member?
Okay. Yeah.
Just the struggles that she's facing.
Okay. So we have one participant in particular who has been coming a really long time, and in fact both me and her were in the same crisis group, and she came to class. I said I'd pick her up. She said, oh, I don't know if I want to come. I don't really act. But I said, will you come, because we're friends? And so I go and pick her up, and she will never act on stage. She would absolutely, you wouldn't catch her. She's not a performer, but she absolutely loves the classes. And there was one instance in particular where during a warm-up or a check-in activity, we were talking about life at school when we were children. And she brought up a particularly challenging memory about having a physical disability and also a speech impediment and missing school and falling behind. And we were about to embark on a Shakespeare lesson, and she was already sort of voicing that she was feeling overwhelmed. She's like, I've never been able to understand it. And I said, look, listen, don't worry, we're all going to help. So she shared this story with the group, and we ended up doing a speech from Hamlet, which is a very epic Shakespeare play, and we did the scene from Polonius, never a borrower nor a lender be. And we went through it, and we translated it, and we broke it down. And then at the end of the class, I asked if people wanted to read, and she said, oh, go on then, I'll do it. And she stood up and she read this speech with so much feeling and like elegance and understanding. She read the speech with such feeling and elegance and understanding and emotion that was so unusual for her. She really resonated with it. And she sort of said, oh, I understand that now. But there was a moment where she finished the speech and we went silent. And then we all just like, we were just absolutely like clapping. And we were, because she'd shared this story with her and her struggle, to watch her just stand up and then read a very complex Shakespearean, monologue. It was just wow, like, and you could see on her face the feeling of pride. And although it's not about that performance element, it was a moment for her just among friends in safety to share that. And following on from that, I supported her at a family event, and her family, who I hadn't met, came up to me and took me to sort of held my hands and were like, thank you so much for what you do. And I found it very overwhelming because I was like, oh no, I want to brush it to the side, but they really made a point to say, thank you for always coming to get Rachel. Thank you for supporting her. And it's not about her being an actress. It's about her finding a space where she can be herself and she can achieve amazing things, and that she has purpose. She has so many struggles still. But I've really seen her blossom as a person, not only at home, but within the group as well. And I'm just really proud of her. And that is a moment that I will treasure. And I think the group that were there were really touched by it as well.